that won't happen. What is up, fellow paste eaters and window lickers? Welcome back to the Angry Nation podcast. And I said fellow travelers. I include myself in that list as well. And we have King Window Licker with us tonight himself.
If you can't stick it, you lick it. That's what they say.
That's what they say. I didn't make the rules, but the rules are the rules.
Don't hate the player.
That's right. Hate the game, baby. How you doing, Pete? Man, I ain't talked to you in like a minute.
I'm doing great. We're up here in the Northwoods and getting ready to head to fall out. So looking forward to that. But yeah, I know it's good catching up with you, brother.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going too. Get out of here for a few days. Well, for a month, because we're gonna go up for Fallout. We're gonna stay over and hang out and wait for CanCon. And then after CanCon, we're gonna come home.
Yeah, gotcha. I was thinking about staying in town, maybe by Russ's in between the Fallout and the CanCon event, but I think I'm going to head back. I'm going to get the rolling coffin, that little trailer I always bring to your place, and then pull that up there to give me a chance to get about a week's worth of honeydews done down in the Florida place.
You'll need them after being gone a while. There'll be all kinds of stuff around there to take care of.
It's bad.
Yeah. I met a friend of yours. I'm trying to remember where he works. His name's Jose.
Yes.
Got a passel of kids, like 5?
5 or 7 or something like that. Yeah, Jose, big old buffed guy, right? Yeah,
he's a buff guy.
I met him when I did a class in Ocala. I met his whole group. The group has since faded, but he was one of the solid ones. You know what I mean? He was. You always, when you audit these mutual assistance groups or whatever, you teach a class. There's 3 or 4 of them that are just solid. And those are the ones you stick to your memory and say, okay, when this group goes tits up, I need to get a hold of this guy. So
look who we got lurking in here in the background.
Oh,
Mr. Toombs himself, T the man. How you doing, brother? Now he's good people. I met him actually through another friend of mine that we didn't know that we knew that stopped by his house to watch a football game. Jose was there. Awesome dude. Had a great time hanging with him.
Yeah, good people. Real good people.
So new book. Let's talk about that first.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the second
kind
book.
Of a big deal.
It's what I came up here to do is write, right? That's what you taught me when you have a little downtime and Russ isn't barking your ear off. You might be able to get some writing done. So we got the second installation of the North of Eden series out. It's called Battlefield Birchwood. And fun fact, one of our viewers came up with that name, our mutual viewers, Mrs. Christie came up with that name. And so we ran with it. Now she called it Birchwood Battlefield. And I said, no, that doesn't sound right. So we're going Battlefield Birchwood. And it's doing good. I'm excited about it. Once you get a book out, you get that relief at first. And then, and you're like, okay, next book.
Yeah, now what do I got to do? I got to get back to work. I don't know mine's so far behind y'all, and I'm trying, but excuse me. This company is eating up a lot of time and resources and slowing me down a little bit because it's starting to wear on me just a touch. I mean, I know the work's coming, but I didn't expect it to take this damn long. So
yeah, I knew when you were telling me about it. I'm like, boy, you're in for it, Mr. Weatherman. I go, it's
no.
Gonna be
I've been out of this industry for a long time. And what happened is when Trump came to office, like all the work stopped immediately because funding was being pulled from this and that and whatever. And they're all coming back around. It's all picking back up. It'll all get done.
Yeah, so they'll start allocating money, especially for infrastructure projects like that. So
yeah,
they had to audit everything. Is why they shut it down.
Exactly. So it's all starting to turn back loose and starting. We had a job we were going to go do up in North Carolina until I found out it was eastern and pretty mountainous, and I just don't have the guys for that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of manual climbing of poles, and they're not like here in Florida where it's 20 foot of pole; it's 40 foot of pole to climb up there. So,
Right.
but that between that and just monitoring the absolute shit show we live in.
What you mean? Something's going on? I haven't been abreast of it. Is there anything happening out in the
the
world?
last 5 minutes, but the guy today. And did you see the pictures of that dude on the roof?
I didn't see the pictures of the guy. No. Mm-mm.
Oh, you should go on Twitter. There's some great photos of him on there.
Good.
And what I thought he had a Mauser. I mean, not a Mauser, a Mosin. I really thought it was a Mosin. But then someone said it was a Mauser. And I kept looking at it. I'm like, that's a fucking Mosin. And there's a stripper clip of ammo laying there.
Yeah.
Mosin-ish.
Yeah.
But he wrote anti-ice on a bullet.
Well, I wonder what his motivation was. I mean, the news agencies are so, to say they don't know what his motivation was. And even after they came out with the bullets, a picture of the bullets, MSNBC and CNN both said, well, we're not sure what his motive was.
Okay. Yeah. Well, only because it was just detainees that were hit. Everybody's calling. They're telling Chrissy Noem she should have to resign now because of it. Because one of their people went out and did this. So, little info on the guy. His Facebook page had a kind of a cartoonish thumbnail of him with the communist flag and a bunch of commie shit. His mother was a very liberal, rabid anti-gunner, like hardcore anti-gunner. And she has some tweets out there in the world that she's probably having a fucking... I think she's actually deleted her account by now. But she has some pretty interesting tweets out there about guns and for her boy to go out and shoot 3 innocent people for no reason.
Yeah. Well, and the thing of it is you had to think about what the guy did. First of all, he shot into a van as it was pulling in. He suspected that there were ICE agents in there. He had no idea that there were detainees in there, right?
Yeah.
So, look, liberals, you can't even get that right. Stop. Just stop.
No. It's they're always lashing out at the imagery or the iconography more than anything. The uniform, the vehicle, it's like the guy that towed the ICE vehicle when they were dragging that Colombian influencer girl out of her car who used to go around doing all the live streams from ICE raids, bragging about how she was in the country illegally. Well, they caught up with her ass. Oh, shit. Hang on. I'm sorry, guys. Damn computer. They finally caught up with her ass, and she got deported. But, it appears that we are moving unabashedly along on the road to civil conflict. Had some super comments about the Charlie assassination. Oh yeah,
about I don't know what he's referring to there. But what I was saying, but if you want to just talk about that for a second, what I was saying about all the conspiracies that are coming out, that he was shot from behind. I watched a scout sniper say, "I've never seen a 30-06 leave an entrance like that." I go, "Have you ever been deer hunting? You're a scout sniper. Every hole I've ever seen looked just like that."
On the end, they look like that. On the out, they look a lot different.
They look a lot different, right? But what I was telling everybody over on my podcast was, when you start with all these conspiracy theories, right? Some of them may be true, but it takes your eye off the real enemy. It takes the bullseye off the real enemy, and that's radical left. That's radical liberalism, and they fail to address that core problem, right? So you can say Israel was involved. This was a CIA op. Stop. Yeah. These are psychotic leftists.
Yeah.
Period. End.
Yeah, I've seen all the conspiracy videos that break down his actual shooting, like frame by frame, and then there's this guy's handing this off, and here's this guy with a black bag that's running away, and it's got a rifle sling hanging out of it, and that guy's an amputee, and that was a camera fucking sling, and he had already done a video about it all.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. And like I said, it takes your eye off the prize, off the enemy, really, is what it does. And that's it, because we don't want to think that a bunch of twink and we warned people about Antifa a long time ago, right? Leftism. Mm-hmm. We warned people about this. Look, don't take these guys for granted. They're starting to train. And it doesn't seem like, look, everybody in our world understands that, but it doesn't seem like the government understands that until Trump finally decided he was going to label them a terrorist organization.
Well, then to that end, which was way overdue. Why are they not? Why don't they have the federal marshals out there waiting in ambush at the Portland ice facility? And when they show up all masked up, throwing fireworks and doing the shit, why don't they just roll out in the street and arrest them all?
Yeah, I mean, arrest them all.
That's what needs to start happening. They need to start facing consequence. Like is it the Houston John Brown Gun Club that did the shooting on an ice facility where they hit an officer? He wasn't an ICE officer, but they shot an officer in the neck. And this was like a month ago. They've now arrested 16 people, all members of the John Brown Gun Club.
Yeah.
They're facing RICO, conspiracy, and all the other stuff that goes along with shooting somebody.
Yeah, that was the ambush on the ice facility in Grand Prairie, I think, and that was in Texas. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah,
Yep.
Coordinated attack. They set up a diversion, and then 16 gunmen attacked. Yeah. Right. But don't worry about leftists. Don't worry about them. They're no harm. They're just a bunch of basement dwellers, right?
Well, Antifa's not even a thing. It's an
idea, they say. And they don't even get that right, because the only reason, whenever anybody says on the internet, Antifa's an idea, they're taking that right from Joe Biden's mouth during the debate. He said that exact same thing. Yep. And it's not an idea, you knuckleheads. It's an ideology.
Yeah, just Google it and see where it came from. Yeah. It came out of Eastern Germany. That's where it came from.
Exactly. And they say, well, anybody that's against Antifa, they're clearly a fascist. Just look, I could name myself a rock. That doesn't mean I'm a friggin' rock. All right. Antifa, you're not anti-fascist. You're the epitome of fascism.
Yes.
So, come on.
It's like I put out a tweet right after Charlie Kirk's shooting that basically said the right has guns for sports shooting, hunting, and self-defense. The left has guns to kill people.
Yeah,
that's it.
Period.
That's what they do with them.
Yeah, I saw a thing on the internet today with a guy changing. You know how they have so many work days without an accident?
Yeah.
The guy was taking one down. He said it's been this many days since a leftist killed somebody, and he had to take the number 1 down and keep the 0.
That's hilarious. It's sad but true. But people need to realize where we're at. Like if you Google the insurgency triangle pyramid, whatever you want to call it, we are at the last level of that before the pointy piece, which is open conflict.
Sure.
Once one side, hiccups, has decided that political violence is the answer, or at least a viable answer, that's when we start creeping up into the pointy end. And the left has clearly stated that political violence is acceptable. I'm seeing tweets all over the place about how it needs to be one every day. One every day needs to be killed. You see videos online saying, MAGAs need to be afraid to walk down the street. They need to be this, they need to be that. And it's just like, and I'm watching, young girls say this stuff about how people need to be killed. And I was just like, if you could only really fathom the horrors you're wishing upon yourself right now,
right?
It's not going to be what they think it is. Like, as I've said before, because I read a lot of their leftist shit, social media and stuff, that they genuinely believe we're going to march into the ditches and get on our knees.
Right.
Like they're not going to, or that there's this massive, overwhelming force that's going to do it on their behalf.
Getting back to what you were saying about the Portland riots and stuff like that, the ICE clashes that they're having. Could you imagine if they did exactly what you said and swept all those people up, took all their cell phones, dove into their social media, dove into their Discord, to their Telegram? Imagine the wealth of information and the intelligence they would get.
The left is a little panicked right now because Trump said that they're going to dismantle their funding. They're going to find out where the money's coming from. They're going to do all these things. And so they're a little scared. I'm sure there's probably already some operations underway. But I saw a great tweet today. How is it that the FBI can plan the assassination of a sitting governor and then go out and convince a couple of dudes down on their luck and really, a combined IQ in 2 digits, these dudes,
right.
And get them for a murder assassination, but they cannot seem to infiltrate a single Antifa cell.
Yeah. They And I'm sure that they're in there. I just don't know exactly what the holdup is. When Donald Trump lost his election bid, the one thing he said to Joe on national television, vision when Joe did it's just an idea thing, he said, "No, Antifa is a dangerous group. You need to take them seriously." And it still took them this long to address the fact that Antifa is a domestic terrorist organization. So
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't understand it.
But
go ahead.
They named the cartels domestic terror or terrorist organizations and started putting hellfires into their go fasts, out in the Caribbean Sea. Why aren't we seeing not necessarily hellfires hitting houses in the United States? I'm not down for that, but overwhelming raids that take these people down.
100%, and make it known, transparency right away. Look, show SWAT kicking in their door, swiping up their computers, taking their cell phones, and pulling them out. That's the only way you're going to stop this kind of thing. Other than the American people standing up at one of these rallies that come and actually put the screws to some of these people, because they're gonna the people that are out there protesting and rallying, those are the real twinks for the most part.
Oh yeah.
And you could and look, no, they don't want a beating. They don't care about, first of all, they don't care about getting arrested because they know it's going to be a turnstile. They're going to be right out the next day, and some liberal governor or DA is going to drop the charges. You might have to do something a little bit different.
In Portland, the mayor has barred the police from assisting ICE in defending their facility.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, Gavin Newsom wants them to take their masks off while they're getting shot at, by the way. That makes sense.
Well, and the irony of that one, all right, these masked men are jumping out and kidnapping people. They got plenty of gear on them that says who they are. Well, you know who they are.
Yeah.
And you made the entire state of California wear masks for no fucking reason.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You didn't pass a law saying it's illegal for someone to ride a motorcycle doing a wheelie down the center of the interstate in a mask. Right. That's a threat to the public, not federal law enforcement officers doing their jobs.
Yep. When they're getting doxxed.
And it was amazing how fast the left got them to pivot from the tranny thing. There goes YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Fuck them. I don't care. I don't mince words. I'm not going to self-censor on their. Fuck them.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But how fast they pivot from that to these poor immigrants. No, they're illegal aliens, is what they're called.
Right.
Illegal aliens.
Yeah.
Go to Mexico and overstay your visa. Find out what happens. They come get you, drag you out of a hotel, deport your ass.
Exactly. There was Johnny Osprey says the Antifa declaration is legally meaningless. Not really true. That opens up a lot of avenues for law enforcement to use certain tools at their disposal, but that would have to be considered a terrorist organization. So meaningless potentially because they're an idea. Okay, I could go with that, but it will open up new avenues of tools for federal law enforcement.
Yeah, and let's hope they use them. The tools are useless unless they actually use them.
Thank you, Jolene. I appreciate that. Don't forget to leave a review. Those things help, apparently.
Yeah. It was not Brad. He's not supposed to be. He's not supposed to be.
Yeah. Well,
he said, do you remember when, he was asked one time if he'd consider running again or if he would like to be president again? And what he said, as long as I don't have to be the front guy.
Yep.
As long as I can just make decisions, put a guy.
That's what he did for the last 4 years.
Yeah, they told us exactly what they did.
Mm-hmm. That's what they always tell you the plan, and then they implement the plan, and we act surprised, right? I mean, it blows my mind.
Or they tell you you're crazy for believing that this is a plan, even though they told it to you ahead of time.
Right.
And that's something that I was told years ago by somebody. It was, and I don't remember when, because this is back in the 90s. He told me they will always tell you what they're going to do before they do it. They always will. And they do.
I read a book. It had to do with globalists and stuff like that. And what they said is actually they're obligated, these globalists or whoever those people might be, Bilderberg group types, they're obligated to give warning to the public before they do it. If they give warning, they don't feel like they've done anything bad. I'll find that book and shoot it to you. But it basically gives you their playbook.
It's probably they probably go on the premise of we told them we were going to do it and they didn't stop us, so that means they wanted it.
You're probably right. Yep.
Yeah, it's just a bizarre world. We're already news of Charlie Kirk's assassin is fading. You're hearing less about him and less about him. He's going to have a hard time in prison, though. I would imagine he's going to have a pretty hard time if he ever makes it there.
If he ever makes it there, and if they ever take him out of suicide watch, and because he's going to end up being in solitary confinement.
Oh, he's going to be in protective seg, the whole time probably. What's this say here? Obama threatened their family. What do you think happens when your family's being held hostage? Go kill the people holding them hostage. That's what I do.
Yeah, I mean that's
how that works. That's what Delta Force is for.
So, but the whole, you talked about Charlie Kirk. The whole thing with him, that's really backfired on leftists. They thought that this was going to be their gem, and we were just going to roll over. They're starting to feel some heat. They didn't anticipate the way we reacted. They wanted us to storm the streets and to continue the violent cycle. But it seemed, kind of remind me of what happened, minus the politicians, what happened after 9/11, the day after, right?
Yeah.
Minus the politicians. Now the politicians are so divided that nothing's going to bring those people back to center.
Well, have you seen the after action report? I think Rose City Antifa or one of the Antifa groups put out about that, how they're like, oh yeah, that didn't help us nearly as much as we thought it would. As a matter of fact, it's having the exact opposite effect.
Yeah, and it's funny because the leftist propaganda machine, the news networks, are already starting to spin it. We're going to hear the term Christian nationalists a lot in the next few weeks, right? Because now we're seeing a revival. So now they have to demonize these Christian nationalists. Yep. So we're going to start seeing them start to demonize and dehumanize Christians. And then that'll be the next wave of activities you're going to see from the left.
Well, Hillary Clinton was just on somewhere running her suck, where she basically said that white Christian nationalists are the greatest threat to the world.
Yeah, and that's it. It's all, look, it's part of the playbook, right? We know that. We've read history. First, you dehumanize your enemy, and then it's okay to just shoot him from a distance when he's talking.
Well, if as I've posted, I think it's the 12 steps to genocide many times. For everybody to read, it's probably on my Patreon. If you go look, you can probably find it in there. We've checked a lot of boxes. We're close to the time when they think they're going to just start the shooting. And, was it Maine? Something over there just said, I'm tired of the white hate. And that's what it is. A good buddy of mine was once told by a tribal elder here in the U.S., so this is decades ago. He said that the next fight will be everybody against the white man.
Mm-hmm.
And we are building straight towards that. And I saw a tweet today from an Indian who, through some convoluted logic going back to start with the English, basically said that they're owed everything in America because somehow they paid for it, which I don't know how that works out exactly. But there's one simple fact that I like to remind people of, and this will get censored too. But this country was founded by angry white men with guns. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
Yes, there were slaves that helped in it, and there were some free units of free black slaves that helped as well. But this country was founded by free white men with guns. And that's what's going to have to keep it, sadly, I'm afraid.
It is, and it's going to be like every other war, right? We're going to have to take the brunt of it as patriots, honestly. And I don't judge. Like you say, you met my buddy Jose.
Yeah.
Look, I judge everybody by their character. That's just plain and simple. If you're a piece of white trailer trash and you act like it, that's the way I'm going to think of you, right? But if you live in a shed out back, but you go to work every day and you look, then that's what I think. You're a hardworking person.
You live in a shed out back. You go to work. You try to help your neighbors out where you can. You try to live a clean lifestyle. Keep yourself clean, keep yourself presentable, take care of the area you're living in. That is an add to society and not a burden, because he's probably not collecting welfare and Section 8 housing. Now, have you heard that argument of all the lefties? We'll pivot to this for a little bit about lefties losing their jobs. So some of them are coming out going, now they're going, well, you guys aren't very smart because you're not thinking this through, because all these people losing their jobs now, they're going to have to get federal government unemployment, food stamps, and housing assistance. And it's just like, every time you people open your mouth, you're so stupid. Number one, unemployment taxes are paid by your employer. Right, it is insurance that you're forced to pay.
Right.
I just had to submit payroll taxes for a quarter. It was $3,000 fucking dollars, and unemployment just unemployment taxes, state, federal, all the bullshit, on the guys that had working for me. So you don't get unemployment benefits from the federal government.
No, they don't think. And a lot of these, especially the teachers, to save face, they're resigning. So even when they resign from their position,
they can go apply somewhere else.
They can apply somewhere else, but they don't get unemployment benefits from their employer.
No, if you quit your job, you don't get it. And if you're fired for a cause, you don't get it.
Correct.
Because I've sat in on more than one call with the Florida State unemployment folks with a terminated employee who's trying to get their unemployment. And I'm just like, I'm answering the questions, and I'm like, no, he was terminated for cause.
Right.
He wasn't laid off. It wasn't a reduction of force. He was fired for being a shithead, basically, and they don't get their unemployment. So, cool. But the lefties that are just incredulous that they're being doxxed. How dare you people do? They forgot what happened just a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then I've seen a few of them that use pretty much the same verbiage. All I did was say some words, and I don't deserve the hate that I'm getting for it. It makes you want to grab them by the throat.
Right.
Like just until they lose consciousness, but not quite. And just, do you hear the hypocrisy in yourself? Let it go so they get a breath and think for a minute. But to say that because you said some horrible shit about a man that was shot and killed for words he said, beliefs he held.
Right.
You killed the only guy on this side of the fence that was trying to keep a civil dialogue open.
It's funny you say that, because someone had said, a lefty was arguing with me, and he goes, look, we just need to have a dialogue about this. And I go, you murdered our dialogue guy. The only people left are guys like me, and we don't talk. That's it. We're not going to talk. No. You murdered our dialogue guy. Okay, so now we just have these guys that have this pent up anger that do certain things like yourself, and that's who you got to deal with now. We'll see.
Look, I'm not going to be a problem to nobody, but like I had a sticker on the back of my truck that said, "We the people are pissed off." Somebody tore that off my truck recently. Like, you're starting to see the little things. It's all building. We're into political violence is now acceptable, and it's becoming normal, dare I say, actually, with the speed at which they're happening. Mm-hmm. But when it evolves into, there was a shooting in town today, a guy was shot at a red light because he had Trump stickers all over his car, that's when you'll know that you're in open warfare and that you need to be ready to defend yourself at all times. I would say don't leave home unarmed now. No. I would be very careful. Plus, have you heard all the chatter about the potential hospital attacks that they're talking about?
Yeah, and that kind of goes back to what old CIA Sarah was talking about on the Sean Ryan show, right?
Super bad.
Yeah. That goes back to that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna see. I mean, she told us about that a couple of years ago, right? And now it's all of a sudden now there's chatter about it. Yeah, it's happening, guys.
And then the Secret Service finds those cell phone farms with 100,000 devices that they say that there was enough, that they found enough of them in that one region that it could have texted every phone in the country within 12 minutes. It would have taken that farm 12 minutes to text every phone in the country.
Yeah, one of our mutual viewers on my podcast the other night, he works on power plants and stuff like that. He does some of the infrastructure for that, and he was telling me about some of the things that they're having to do, like make hard copies of some of their sensitive material. So I think, and that was before they found out the Homeland Security busted that little telecom thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's in direct relation to what the power plants, the water treatment plants, and critical infrastructure places were told to start backing up their stuff and stay offline for a little bit. So I think that was a direct reflection of that investigation.
Yeah, Larry. If you work in healthcare, I would be taking precautions. Put some soft plates in your backpack. And here's the other side of that too: is that warning came with they know these things, yet no one's being arrested. We know that they're buying first responder uniforms, law enforcement, firefighter, paramedics. They're going to dress as that
Sure.
when they kick off these attacks to make things even more confusion, or to herd people into desired areas where it'll be easier to eliminate mass numbers of folks. You know, I would be paying attention. You know,
Right.
If I worked in a hospital, I would know where every exterior door on that building is.
Yeah, and a lot of times when you look at the MO for that kind of thing, when they're talking about getting police uniforms, they're talking about getting EMS uniforms, that is going to be for the secondary attack.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So they're gonna come in. No, yeah. They're gonna come in, they're gonna wreak havoc, and then all of a sudden you're gonna think the police and EMS are there on scene, and then that's when the secondary attack comes, right? That's typical. It's the way things are done in most other countries, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yep. And all the precursors are there. Like all the warnings are there for anybody who's listening. You know, it looks like bad shit ahead. And look, I'm not running around like Chicken Little, you know, waiting for the sky to fall. I'm not panicking. I'm not doing anything any different than I do any other time. No. But I'm just making sure my shit's wired tight, that I've got the right equipment with me when I leave my house, and that I'm ready for what the hell ever may happen.
Yeah, and how about now we have some opportunities ahead next month to take some training classes, right? How about we use that as an opportunity to maybe get trained up on maybe an area awareness, right? A situational awareness, just to keep all the cogs and all the gears lubed up a little bit. And I know most of the people out there, they're Navy Rangers, CIA SEALs, all that good stuff, but sometimes you need to refresh yourself a little bit.
You got to watch out for those gravy SEALs, man.
Yeah, I mean, I had a guy who's a member of SEAL Team 6. I was like, holy shit. Or it was Meal Team 6, I think.
Meal Team 6,
he weighed about 400 pounds. So
those guys, the only way they'll breach the door is you throw a biscuit through the window first.
Oh yeah, they'll think
Then they'll breach the door.
Yeah, they'll jump on it like it's a grenade and you're a new recruit or something, right?
Jump on it like it's a grenade.
Come on, Russ is blowing up chat right now.
Oh shit!
Guys,
I always forget about that.
Yeah, hashtag Birchwood for a chance to win a free Audible copy of the first book, Birchwood Burning. Right. So if you hashtag Birchwood in chat, you'll be registered to win an Audible version of this book right here. And if you've already have these books, if you already have the Audible, it doesn't matter. You can send that email I send you to someone who hasn't, right? There you go. That's all. I did my due diligence there, Russ.
So get your hashtag Birchwoods in, because you know you're going to want to get in on that. Somebody just asked a question. Let me find this. Hang on. Oh, yes, I did have a great birthday, Jeff. Had two of my daughters here. Little bits. Boyfriend, going to be husband one of these days. There's no doubt about that. Them two are never going to separate. And had my middle daughter down from Boston. They're at Halloween Horror Nights right now. I had my mom over and Conager and some other friends and all stopped by. And it was nice. It was just a chill day, real laid back. That's how I like things. So
that's how
it was a good birthday. And it wasn't my birthday. It was Logan's birthday. It was Little Bit's birthday. So she baked a fantastic chocolate mousse cake. Like, got to give the kid credit. She likes to cook. So
very cool. Well, there you go. I know Teresa's in the background. I got a lot of hashtag Birchwoods. Also, guys, if you have any questions for me, just hashtag Pete, and I'll try to kind of give you a heads up. I'll probably lie to you about whatever, but it's all right. Yeah.
If you don't have an answer, we will make one up.
Yeah, you can't make it fake it.
Patrick, we'll see you we'll see you soon. Don't worry, bro.
What do you say?
He's talking about, sorry, I missed your birthday. Yeah. I was like, don't worry, we'll see you soon.
So you mentioned CanCon after the Fallout event.
Yeah.
Am I understanding that you're actually going to be teaching a class in Cancun?
Yeah,
What is
Alan
that?
K. I got to call him back. Alan K. are doing a bug out bag class basically on the Thursday on the VIP day. So we'll lay some stuff out and talk about the reasons why. I really love Alan when he does these because his kid is in 3 tiers, you know, always is. Like the dude's a walking survival kit. And I like doing the class with him because, you know, he does live it every day. Do I take my bag every day when I leave my house? No, I mean, it's in the bed of my truck, but around here, I'm not so worried. But you let me travel far from home at all? No, yeah. I mean, I keep a dead hooker bag in the truck with plates and chest rigs and battle belts, and there's trauma kits. There's a North American Rescue in there with an air mobile litter, full litter, like full of trauma stuff, and plenty of survival crap: water, food, tools, you know, all the good things you need in life. So, and I think everybody should be rolling like that, you know.
Yep.
Everybody should.
Apparently, I'll be teaching a defensive pistol class that's going to be a half-hour long. Don't exactly know how that's going to work, but
Wow, you'll be able to teach them how to establish a proper grip in the holster.
Yeah, pretty much. That's about where we're at with that. So I'll work my magic on the fly like I normally do, and we'll make that happen. I'll work out the logistics with T over there.
Opie, you can go fornicate yourself with a broken beer bottle.
Patrick, you want to know what the African swallow's acceleration speed was? That's 18 miles an hour, or going parallel to the ground. Unless it's in a dive, sir, then it reaches a solid 48 miles per hour. There you go.
Why do we have to know that out of curiosity? Because there's obviously a story there.
No, he just hashtag Pete, and apparently he wanted to hear me make something up. So there you go.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. I like it. Well, yeah. What do you take when flying? Ugh. So flying's tricky. I will take a waterproof barrier, usually a poncho. I will take a metal cup, a metal water bottle, a fire steel, and then a few other various instruments that I know I can get through security if packed properly. Now, I also dress for the occasion. I'm wearing long pants, rugged boots, generally a long sleeve shirt of the cotton variety, nothing in synthetic, because, you know, I do imagine trying to wade off a plane full of burning jet fuel, and I don't want to be doing it in flip flops and spandex shorts like I see some of these young girls getting on planes with. Yeah. But you know, the blade's the hardest part. There are ways around that. You can always put one in your check bag and hope it doesn't burn up, you know, or you can improvise, or you can pack one.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
all I'll say about that.
There are certain. Look, I will always carry a pen. All right.
No,
it doesn't have to be one of the tactical pens because they've gotten wise to that, right?
Yep.
So I'll usually dress kind of like this, right? And then I'll always have a pen in my shirt pocket, like I'm a business guy that doesn't look too tactical, right? And I usually walk right through.
Me too.
No problem.
Yeah. No. Well, that's true. They took the P38 can opener off my keychain one time, but I had a zero tolerance automatic in the laptop case laying in front of me the whole time I was talking to them, and they never saw it. Had him take a fine screwdriver, fairly long. We called it a tweaker in the business when I worked at power plants for doing control work. They took one of those from me one time, told me I couldn't have that.
I get it.
But I always have the from the TSA with love letter in my check bag. If I check a bag, it gets searched.
Yeah.
Oh, every fucking time. Every time.
Yeah, I'm flying under the radar for the most part nowadays. They don't.
That shit's wearing off quick.
That's going to change. Right? That's going to change.
You hang with you're already done. Your next boarding struck pass will say SSSS all across the top of it like mine have for fucking 15, 20 years. Back when I was still working in jails and shit, I would print, what are these S's? And I go up scared and ask them. They're like, "Oh, that means you get extra security." I was like, "Oh, okay, all right." You know, wish I hadn't asked. But yeah, it's traveling's hard. Flashlight. I will always have a flashlight. Cordage. I like to keep Kevlar cord on me as well as some paracord. Kevlar cord has different uses depending on what you want to do with it. I'll let you get creative and think about that. A watch, a mechanical watch too, signal mirror, life straw, that's like a kit to fly with. The only thing you're really missing is a blade. And you can make a blade, get a blade. They're not that hard to come up with,
No.
So.
And then usually when I land, I will buy a cheap blade if I can't.
If I had to fly and I could not carry one, the minute I land, I'm buying a knife. I mean, I'm going straight to the nearest sporting goods place or somewhere that sells at least decent ones, because I'm only going to go so cheap. Like low end for me is Spyderco. That's about as far down as I'll go.
My Kershaws, I gotta have them. I love them.
Kershaws are nice, but anything works too in that situation. Like fucking anything works.
That we're gonna work out logistics on that. Me and Chris need to talk about that a little bit.
We might do it over here this time.
Well, definitely, because if I do it at my house again, I'm getting divorced. I'm telling you right now, that's happening. So,
there's plenty of room out here to camp too. We've got a bigger range, so a little bit bigger range. More people can get on it. There's plenty of room to camp. And I'll get a porta john just like you did last time. That worked out so well. But yeah, we'll do one out here. We'll get everybody together. We'll come out here and play around in the woods.
All right,
we'll do some fun stuff. We'll do some things with drones, optics, like Stano gear. Like, how many of you guys have a spotting scope? How many of you guys have a good pair of binoculars?
Yep.
Right? These are important tools. Who has, radios? Obviously, some of you do. Yep. Who has HF radios and antennas that can be man portable, put up? Who has any signal detection stuff? Be it a porta pack or something along those lines. A mini, Patrick, what was the name of the thing I gave you? There's frequency analyzers. Basically, you can turn on, put the antenna up, and you'll see frequencies.
Right.
That's important to have.
Yeah, especially for drones, right?
Yeah, drone. Well, I'm working. So there's a fantastic Ukrainian company making one right now that I'm trying to get through to them to talk to them. I don't want to have to make the international call, but I just want to call them. And they make one that also intercepts the drone's video feed, so you can see what the drone sees. Tiny SA, thank you.
Yeah,
at least a tiny SA, guys. Get one of those. But I'm trying to get that drone detector. And I'm going to have good old Mr. Byron Russell on one night. I need to reach out to him to get this set up, because we're going to talk drone defense. Byron is the man when it comes to drones. Byron will be doing a drone demonstration. I don't think he's going to let anybody play with his drones, or he's even going to fly them for CanCon. And somebody asked, what's this here? Let me see here. Do you check it and buy ammo once you landed?
Oh, so she's talking about traveling with a firearm. You can check your firearm and your ammunition. If they're in a locked case, get with TSA. They'll
check with the airline you're flying on first. Go online, read their policy. So some of them, all of them, are going to make you do roughly the same thing. You're going to go to the ticket counter. You're going to say, I need to declare a firearm. You're going to unlock the case. You're going to remove the weapon, which needs to also probably be locked inside the case. You're going to remove that lock. You're going to demonstrate to them that the weapon is unloaded. You're going to then resecure everything, lock it back up. Now, typically your ammo is in the same gun case, but it has to be in a separate locked box inside the case. And most airlines limit how many rounds you can bring. So just remember all that. Magazines generally have to be empty as well. And for all this, the TSA is going to be real kind. They're going to come over and get you. They're going to escort you over to the x-ray machine where you will place your shit down and it will disappear. But right before it does, they're going to put a great big purple tag on it that says gun.
Yep.
So that every baggage handler out there knows there's a weapon in that bag.
Yep.
So what I do, and what I would recommend when I do that, is I have a stainless steel net security device that goes over my suitcase and then gets locked in place. It's also great if you're traveling third world and there's pickpockets and that kind of thing.
A lot of hikers use them, but it'll go over about most any size bag and secure it so they can't get in. It has to be a TSA key, they say.
But TSA approved locking device. Yeah. And I'll tell you, and it's a good point going by the actual airlines, because I did a job in Laredo, Texas, and I went to the lady up front. I said, I need to check my firearm. And she goes, okay, that's fine. You just need to just make the captain aware when you get on the plane. And I go, no. I'm not carrying it on the plane with me. I need to check it. She goes, yeah, no, that's no problem. Because I have my firefighter badge, right? With my ID. Yeah. And so she assumed I was a cop. So she goes, yeah, just tell the crew. And she was going to let me walk on the plane with a firearm. I go, no, you're misunderstanding. I I just need to talk to your supervisor, sweetheart.
TSA wasn't going to let you through their checkpoint. I guarantee you that.
No, good God.
No, they'd have had you on the floor beating you with a rubber hose.
Oh, exactly. I'd have been on the news. Firefighter arrested in Laredo Airport.
Oh, Mama, no, I'm traveling with the blade. Check it. Put it in a check bag. Just check it.
Sure.
Just check it. And if you're worried about that, go get a Kubaton. A Kubaton is a device about that big. A lot of people keep them on their keychains. It's an impact weapon. You need a little training with that, but just remember, soft spots, joints, eyeballs, groins, teeth, nose, eyes, ears, crook of the elbow, back of the knee, top of the foot, any of those, top of the hand. Kubaton strikes are pretty painful, and you can take somebody right out of the fight. So, or at least make them less inclined to want to keep scrapping with you because you keep hurting the shit out of them.
Let's see what Russ has got going on here.
What's he got in the background?
Please give away, mention, fornicate thyself, Pete. That's what happens behind the scenes when we're trying to do a show.
Johnny, you still have to have TSA locks on the outside of that gun case.
Yeah,
they've got to be able to open it, which is bullshit. But they still got to be able to open it up. So let's see here.
It's weird being on this side of the podcast.
Isn't it though?
Yeah. I don't know if I like it more or less. I'm figuring out yet.
I don't know. I ain't been on nobody else's in so long now. I barely remember what this is like. So
that's fun.
I just do this one. I just do this one. I'm trying to get more shit. I put out a bunch of little intel grabs for Patreon the other day, covering basically France, Nepal, Indonesia, and I just forgot what the fourth one was. Antifa after action report. Did one on that too.
Did you happen to catch any of Trump's UN speech?
I caught parts of it.
Yeah, go back on YouTube and watch that.
I caught some real gems out of there. He basically called them all assholes to their face.
Yeah, and here's the thing: what we're going to start seeing now. Usually, to gauge what's going to happen in America, you can see what's happening in the UK and in Europe first. And what's happening? They're facing backlash now because of all the illegal or all the immigration policies that these countries have put in place, right? So the locals they're getting pretty pissed off.
Yeah.
I sense it's going to happen here, and Trump called them all out on it.
Yes,
he said this whole immigration thing. He goes, He basically said all your countries are going to hell.
Yeah. All you got to do is call me, bro. Just call me. The one thing that I thought was fantastic that he said, and I'm not going to nail the quote, but he said, this expectation that industrialized nations must open their borders up to people of I can't remember how he said it, but basically foreigners who do not share our common values and stuff and allow them to destroy our country must come to an end.
Yeah. He says you have to protect your heritage.
Yeah.
But that sounds bad, right? Because he's a white guy saying it. If it was any other color, it would have been great. But a white guy saying it.
Every other color is allowed to say it but us.
Right.
Yeah, Patrick. So the UN, before he went to the UN, they were joking about they were going to shut down the elevator or the escalators and the elevators and tell them to walk up. And then the elevator or the escalator did break. I think what Trump should do, what I would have done if I was him in that address, I would have been like, hey, by the way, boys, when I leave here, y'all need to come to New York and get all your shit and get it the fuck out of our country. We're done hosting you.
he told him during the address, he goes, the only thing I got out of the UN was a broken escalator and a teleprompter, because they turned his teleprompter off also.
Yep.
He says, he goes, that's the only thing I've gotten out of the UN with all the money America has spent with you guys.
Yep.
Oh, and then, yeah, Patrick, he did talk about the green news scam. That was an eye opener. That was fun.
And the Europe basically just came out and said, "Oh, by the way, we're not going to be able to buy nearly as many weapons from you as we wanted to."
Okay.
Oh, surprise, surprise! You've never had before, so why start now?
Yeah. Okay. Don't then. You know. See how Russia takes that.
Yeah. Well, did you see Trump's 180 on the whole Ukraine situation?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say, based on what Ukraine is presently doing, their current strategy is crippling Russia.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this: Putin will nuke Ukraine into glass before he loses that war.
Yeah, he'll do it just to save face. And I think the reason that Trump took that stance now with Ukraine is because Putin's he's not working with him, right? He thought him and Putin were big, good buddies. Putin's KGB, all right? He's not your buddy. So figure it out. So I think that's why that flip-flop kind of went.
Well, Putin wants to rebuild the Soviet Union.
The motherland, sure.
And the other side of the coin, though, is the unrest in Russia. Like, because of the new strategic plan that Ukraine has, they've crippled Russia's oil industry. They're down 17% in refining capacity, and it's showing domestically because there are cars lining up for miles to buy gasoline.
I saw
gasoline
that,
is heavily subsidized over there, but it's still up 50% from what it was at, if you can even get it.
And they need to export so much of their oil now to fund the war that it's hurting their economy, right? I mean, I could see rationing happening all over Russia if this thing keeps up. He did have an interesting thing after the UN speech where they had asked if what any of the NATO nations should do if Russia incurred on their airspace. And he says, shoot them down. Yeah. Shoot them down.
Well, they've already pushed Russia so back from the line of contact, essentially, their aircraft, that the they're basically their GBUs, their glide bombs and all that are useless now. Their planes can't get close enough to do anything. Ukraine has crippled their air defense. They've crippled it in Crimea. There's attacks happening all over Crimea now, and the Russians are fleeing Crimea in waves. They can't get out of there fast enough, but they can't get fuel.
Right.
Like they can't get gas for their cars. Everything is more expensive in Russia. They've lost an entire generation of young men that aren't back in Russia working,
Sure. Right.
Like they're having problems nationwide, and it's only getting worse for them because the people are starting to take to the streets. Like it's not looking good for Putin. And he's so retardedly paranoid anyway. It'll be interesting to see how they try to combat the fallout of the war, because they're already having their troops come back with severe PTSD, committing atrocious crimes, just terrible shit. And I heard in a report yesterday that there are 1 million disabled people now in Russia, the highest it's ever been. And the official policy was they just need to be liquidated as fast as possible. Like, think of that your government, even if you were born that way, that's still how they see you. They need to be liquidated as soon as possible. Or you're a soldier, you were conscripted and you were sent to combat under no choice of your own. You got a leg blown off and you come back to a military hospital and they're like, yeah, just as fast as this heals up, we're sending you back with crutches. Right. And they do. They send them back and just keep sending them forward in those wave assaults.
I mean, they've demonstrated that in World War II, right? I mean, they do. That's no secret. They're gonna throw as much meat onto the battlefield as they can, and if you start to run back toward the lines, guess what's happening? You're gonna get shot.
Well, they still do that too. They have barrier troops, they call them. So they still have barrier troops. They've got entire divisions now, I think it is, that are HIV and hepatitis positive. Like bringing them right in, sending them into the field, and guys are getting HIV and hepatitis from the Russian military medical service because they're being given bad blood. They don't even test the blood.
Oh, good God.
Or they're using syringes. Like there was one soldier, he was watching, there was a bunch of guys laid out on tables, they're trying to work on all of them, and one nurse walked around with a single needle and injected morphine into everybody with the same needle, drawing it from the same vial. And he goes, "You're not going to change needles?" She's like, "Are you going to buy them?" She's like, "Because we don't have any.
We don't have any. I'm sorry." So
Yeah.
what's the end game? 20 years from now, Russia, they're going to have a whole bunch of. I mean, their workforce is depleted, right? They're going to be killed or suffering so bad from PTSD. At 20, you know who's laughing at all this is China.
Yeah.
They're just sitting back. And
They've got a shitload of problems too, though. Most people understand the natural disasters that are striking China on a weekly basis. I mean, insane amounts of flooding. Every day in China, I think it's 10 cars explode. EVs just explode. Yeah, the batteries blow up. They're killing people, burning people. And the people are starting to fight back in China too, because with all this massive rain they've been having in China, they just opened all the fucking dams and just said, "Yeah, we're gonna just sacrifice the people downriver because we got to save these big cities."
Yeah.
So
that's what the leftists want. That's what the leftists want. They want that kind of government, right?
That's what socialism, communism gets you. You know, for the greater good, comrade. You know, sorry, get in the ditch.
For the greater good.
Yeah, it's for the greater good.
But
it's just when you look at the entire world, the whole world is such a bizarre place. I would recommend, though, if you want to see good shit happening in the world, look at Burkina Faso in Africa. That is an example of an African nation that is coming out of complete squalor. And they've got a very young guy running it. I think he was a captain in a coup and he took over. But like he released 1 million chickens onto the streets of the biggest city in the country. Released them. He's like, "We want these to run around and be everywhere, laying eggs and getting more chickens, and everybody can have chickens." You know. They also dug one of the longest irrigation canals in Africa ever. They requested international funding. They asked for help to do it. Everybody said, "Yeah, we'll give you the money, but here's the strings." He told them all to go pound sand. He got his people out there. They dug the canal in record time compared to what all the great big NGOs were going to offer.
Right.
And he is bringing water back to parts of Africa that haven't had it and turning them green again. Like you're watching a guy basically terraform a desert back into what it was once before overgrazing and mining and all the bullshit. Mel turned it into government housing. She's talking about the UN. Turn the UN into government housing. That's what I said to do to it earlier. Kick them out, turn it into Section 8 housing.
Oh, it's working in California after the Palisades fire. That's what Gavin Newsom wants to do.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. It's what he says he wants to do.
Yeah.
That's what he says he wants to do. Yeah. So when are you coming into town for Fallout, Pete?
I will be there. I'm leaving the North 40 on the 12th, which is a Sunday. So I'm going to take my time, 3 days. I'll probably get there on Wednesday, if I had to guess. I want to give one buffer day just in case something happens on the road.
Bob Lester in the house. What's up, Bob? Bob's a good dude. Some of you know Bob.
And that may change too. I may end up getting there a little earlier. Now I ain't decided yet. Right now, tentatively though, I'll get there on the Wednesday.
We're gonna pop smoke on the 10th. I think we'll be there on the 10th. I'm just gonna check with Casey, make sure our spot's ready, and then if it is, we're gonna roll out and be there on the 10th. And I'm just gonna hang out there. I'm gonna see if Casey don't care. I'm gonna just sit there after Fallout. You know, we'll hang out with some folks in the area and stuff, and then go up to Spartanburg and do that thing.
Perfect.
So don't we need to give away a book? Don't we have to do that?
We're giving away Audible of the Audible version of Burning, Birchwood Burning, and that was the first book. And that was the first book in the Birchwood.
I don't know that echo.
Sharing it.
Well, spin that beautiful wheel. See who gets us tonight.
gonna have a friggin' seizure.
I can't. Micah's dad. Micah's dad.
Heck. All right, give me. I'll send you.
All right,
give me. I'll send you the.
Yeah, that's causing the echo. That was causing the echo bad. We got to. We're gonna have to start keeping a list and restricting some of these repeat offenders. I mean, winners. It's not rigged, guys.
I like it that the OGs win it though. Sometimes.
Oh, I do too, and I want the OGs to win. Trust me, I want the OGs to win. I'm just fucking with him, and he knows.
Yeah. Oh, he knows, and plus he's already. I think he's got all those damn books already.
I was gonna say he's probably already read it. So
yeah. Somebody asked me who was narrating. Matthew White will be narrating the second book. That's the same narrator that did the first book, guys. I'll keep him throughout the whole series. You can't change narrators in a series; it just doesn't work.
No, you cannot. You'll ruin one. That's how you scuttle a series, man. Mm-hmm. That is how you scuttle a series. Well, guys, we're looking forward to hanging with everybody. Some people have all the egghead. Bro, your luck's turning. You're a short timer now, bro.
Exactly.
I was excited when I wanted cigars. Hell yeah. I'll have some of those with me, by the way, Patrick. So we'll get Matt. We'll drag Brush Beater over to the fire, and we'll all sit around and smoke a cigar and talk a little shit. But yeah, looking forward to mountain readiness. Get out of here for a little while and try to decompress and forget about all the money I'm losing.
Yeah, I know.
Motherfucker. You know?
I know. If only I would have warned you to stay out of that shit.
Well, no, I would have still done it. I was trying to help Donnie. I was, you know. But I went into the safe today and I reached into my money pocket and I was like, ooh. And I'm like, that's empty now. I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Figure something out on this one.
That's about every week with me. I go into my wallet and then my wife has scavenged what was left.
I don't even carry cash in my wallet. It's a waste of fucking time. It's like my wife, my daughters, they know. They can smell it, you know, and then I'll lose it. And they'll always need exactly what I have on me, too.
I know, it's weird, right?
200 or 700.
Yep.
That's exactly what they need at that moment. Like, how do you fucking know? You guys got a money counter? You just walk by me and it's like, yeah, the old man's got the $65.12. Dad, I need $65. You know what I mean?
Right. So. Exactly. Oh, Lord.
Thanks for hanging out, man.
Man, it's always good. I can't wait to see you in person again, brother. Hanging out around the fire. That's my favorite time. And shooting the shit like we always do. That's a good time.
You have pocket money? No, I don't have. Oh, yeah, I do have. I have an empty money pocket in my safe now. I am tapped. So I gotta get this fucking book done, or get these goddamn bucket trucks in the air doing something. But yeah, mountain readiness is gonna be fun, guys. We're looking forward to that. A little relaxed time, a little time around the fire, a little time with like-minded folks. You extremists, you.
Yeah.
Then I can't
nationalist. Yeah, guys, and guys, take some classes while you're there. Yeah, soak up all that information. There's a lot, and there's classes before and after, right? I mean, I think there's some that might be happening before. I don't know. I have to get with T, but take them. Spend a couple bucks.
And don't forget, there's going to be a Ren Fair happening at the same time. I don't know if there's any of you out there that have never attended one. They're worth watching. The people watching, at least, is fantastic. We might have to come up with a competition for that. We might because there's going to be a whole lot of just because you can don't mean you should, but then there's going to be some whoa there.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
I know exactly. Good stuff, Chris. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for promoting the book as usual. You never let me down. You always try to rise me up. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Anything we can see if we all just did what we could when we can.
That's always an easier place.
So with that note, guys, y'all know the drill. Be good at it. We will be on next week with Franklin Horton, another guy that writes books. I mean, actually finishes them and puts them out and sells them and shit. I'm gonna talk to him, see how he does it.
I know how he does it.
Me too. We'll catch you guys next week. This has been awesome.
Take it easy, guys.